감사하고요.
And welcome to Nyocell. It happens all too often, and it actually happened to me playing soccer. A player gets a crack to the head, brushes off the injury, and keeps himself in the game. His coaches and teammates unaware that he is playing through a concussion. Each year, 3.8 million sports-related concussions are reported in the US, but these reported concussions are not the issue. The danger lurks in the concussions that go unreported. If an athlete chooses to play through a concussion, that athlete becomes at risk of second impact syndrome. Now, rather than undergoing a routine 1 to 2 week recovery procedure, that athlete could face permanent brain damage or even death. We at Nyocell seek to propose a revolutionary new perspective on addressing the issue of concussions. Protection by detection. The N-Band by Nyocell is the first ever headband to detect concussion level impacts and notify coaches and trainers when players should be removed from competition. Fitting discreetly under any helmet or comfortably on bare head, the N-Band is applicable to all sports.
When a player receives concussion level impact, their skull will accelerate and decelerate extremely quickly. By using a high precision accelerometer, we can measure this deceleration. The Bluetooth capabilities of the accelerometer, which will be licensed for a nominal fee, will then send the data to the Nyocell app on the coach or trainer's mobile device. Our software sets a threshold for this deceleration to determine whether or not the player has undergone a concussion. If the threshold is exceeded, the app will notify the coach or trainer to immediately remove their player from the game to prevent the dangerous second impact syndrome. This equation proposes how we set that threshold. Now, concussions require a minimum of 95 Gs of force. For a player to receive a 95 G blow, their head would decelerate at 930 meters per second squared. This will be the threshold set in the accelerometer. For example, if a player is running at 22 miles per hour, or 10 meters per second, and a blow stops their movement in 5 centimeters, the head would decelerate at 1,000 meters per second squared, delivering 102 Gs of force, exceeding the threshold and producing a concussion. Now, we actually have developed a prototype of the N-Band.
We've developed a prototype of the N-Band to show the feasibility of our product. If you could just give my hand a tap with some force, you'll see a spike in the reading of the accelerometer. Give my hand a tap. Yeah, got it.
We plan on selling to 2 target customers, both individual athletes as well as teams. Initially, we will sell through smaller sports retail stores, eventually working our way into larger retailers such as Dick's Sporting Goods. We will also sell directly through our website to both individuals as well as teams. Individual athletes will purchase an N-Band and then download the free Nyocell app. Teams will purchase anywhere from 5 to 120 N-Bands and download the Team Nyocell app, which monitors the entire team at once and will also require a subscription fee for each season. Our retail price point will be $40 for each N-Band and $20 a season for the Team Nyocell app. We project an initial cost per unit to be around $18 while selling domestically. However, once we reach an international scale, our cost per unit will be lowered to around $11 per unit.
As we market our product, we plan on establishing strategic sponsorship deals with both the professional sports teams and individual athletes. We will then target our advertising dollars on the local rather than the national TV commercial sales for these athletic events. By initially focusing on the high income areas, we will first gain traction among a demographic of users that have a fair amount of disposable income, and from that foundation we can expand to mass popularity.
Introducing objective detection that coaches and trainers can track, Nyocell ensures that no player gets left behind. Nyocell, because the best way to protect is to detect. Thank you.
job, guys. So you talked about going to market through retail channels and doing promotion through national and local sports. Have you also considered approaching some of the major sports apparel companies and partnering with them?
So we actually plan on making the headbands ourselves because we want to be able to implement our own accelerometer technology into it. So we don't plan on partnering with other headbands. We want to be making them ourselves.
Okay, just to comment on that, since we have a short period of time, if you don't approach them and at least have a discussion, you're creating competition, but they could certainly license you to create and do it under their name, and the leverage they would give you would be huge. And by the way, I know somebody in Nike marketing if you want to talk to them.
We'd be very interested.
We have a patent statement on the last page of the information packet we handed out, and we would be open to considering a licensing deal because the leverage and revenue is tremendous.
One thought I had is, what's the range of Bluetooth under a helmet?
That is one of the considerations with the accelerometer that we need to find and, if necessary, manufacture. Now, I know Bluetooth devices like drones can go obviously far enough to fly a drone significantly far away. The maximum range would be maybe, miles, but a football field is 100 yards, so it's doable.
You mentioned manufacturing the band yourselves. Is there something proprietary about the technology, or are you just buying it from somebody else? What's the situation here?
Well, there's obviously nothing proprietary about a headband, and the accelerometer technology is already out there. But when we're combining technologies A and B, if it produces a new function, not just the functions of A and B, but like function C, then it's proprietary and it's patentable, and we can have some intellectual property there.
So we are the first headband to be implementing this technology. And as our patent statement says, we've been talking to John Roberts, a patent and trademark attorney, and he believes that our technology is proprietary.
The second team to join Team Pronell at the Global Youth Entrepreneurship Summit is going to be Team Nyocell.